Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Get ready.
Get ready in
10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for Web3 Breakfast.
Streaming to over 180 countries around the world.
Getting down and dirty with everything crypto.
Everything crypto. And bringing your daily fix of Web3 analysis and news.
Brought to you by the Crypto Magazine and your hosts,
Jay Chains and Mr. Dude. Buckle up, settle down,
and let's grow.
Boom, yo, GM fam. Hope you're doing all right, man. It's been a little while since we've joined you, since you heard me on the good mic. I was out in Salt Lake City last week. Real strange city. We can talk about that if you guys want to. If you're a drinker, don't go there. And not like it's a bad thing, but it's funny. That was just more of a joke. But all right, we're back in the studio, baby. It's Monday. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Just an absolute great weekend. Obviously, the Karate Combat fights on Friday were nothing short of a disappointment. Or what am I looking for? I think I said
they were not a disappointment.
Yes, they were not. That was so
opposite
much fun.
Of disappointment.
Yeah, not even close. Like, it was amazing. I got called out for a fight, so we'll see.
Now, like, what's your relationship with him as well?
Harley, he's a great guy. I like him, but here's the deal.
So you guys are like buddies. Like, there isn't actually like it was just one of those like call each other out kind of things.
So we're both the same weight class. I feel like it's going to be a really good fight. There was talks about it for a little while anyway. So when he was actually supposed to fight Grimace in Nashville, but he had Grimace had like a panic attack right before. He had some high blood pressure. It was something like that. And so that fight got scrapped the day of the fight. And so when that happened, that obviously was kind of a bummer. But, then we knew that he was going to get rescheduled. And so I was very much looking forward to his fight against Toki. I think Toki's a beast. That was, there was that thing ended quick. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a great fight between Harley and I. I have no problems with him. And that's one of the things now about the IFC, especially in my weight class. There's not too many guys. Right. And so I'm going to have to fight some friends, and that's okay. Because
that's fair. Because like there was someone else, too, who after his fight, like he won and they were like, you want to call anybody out? And he was like, blah, blah, blah. Like then he was like, I know, hey, like we're boys, but like there's only so many people in a weight class. And that's fact. Right. Like Karate Combat will be big, but right now it's not. So there isn't thousands of people to fight from. Like in the UFC, you can call it fucking anybody. Yeah. Because there's like 100 people to choose from.
Exactly. And so it's it's a little bit tighter. Now we'll see. He may take something to finish out this year, and then what I'm looking forward to is quarter one of next year. I think we're looking at a date possibly February. I don't know. There's no contracts. There's no nothing yet. I think the will of the way, that whole expression. Like when we talked about it, I talked about it with the IFC guys. They're all on board. Harley's on board. So, hopefully February, because the destination should be right. So I want to, I fought in Austin, Texas, right? And I'm an American. It was cool to fight in America. Now I want to do my next one internationally. And this is, I said I want it to be an exotic destination. And I believe this is going to be one. So I'm very much looking forward.
So it's Canada. So it's East Consensus Canada for an exotic destination.
No way. We're going farther.
Hey, if you come in August again, though, it fucking felt exotic.
Oh, yeah.
Kerry can vouch for that.
So for the Futurist Conference, I'll definitely be coming back out there. Plus, I think I'm going to play a part of the Miami one, too. But when Consensus does come to Toronto, we'll be there for sure. Because Karate Combat is going to have – that's one of their whole things is that this next year they want to have majority of their events. From what I understand, 10 of the events are going to be centered at a crypto conference. And so it makes the most sense as you're getting this league off the ground because it is blockchain power. I mean, it's Hedera, so it's the hash graph. It's not blockchain, but you guys understand. It's
part of Web3.
Yeah, it's crypto's first pro sport. And so it makes sense to have it around these events. Plus, I'm telling you, the atmosphere and energy, so David Hoffman, he's the founder of Permissionless, right? He was the main for the IFC. The fucking arena was packed, packed for the fights. And so they don't quite get like that when they're on a neutral territory. Like when we were in Mexico City, there was a bunch of people there, but it was not nearly what it's like. And I'm talking more specifically for the IFC part, that it's not nearly as well attended as during the crypto events. And so, shout out to those guys. Shout out to the organization. I had an absolute fantastic time this week in Salt Lake with that whole team and crew. So I got a lot more videos and stuff to post. I didn't bring a memory card reader like a bozo, so I'm gonna do that today. I'll plug in the memory card to see what kind of good footage we got. We'll upload some stuff, maybe make a fun little video about the events.
Hey, if
Gotta get a
somebody
little
needs me to make
montage.
weight and take a L, I can give you my hashback wallet.
What is your weight?
150.
Okay, I'm way far away from that. But
Well, I can just eat pizza all day, and eventually I'll get there.
there
Right?
you go. We'll give it. I'll probably like in a year or two, I'll be down to like 175 maybe. Like that's
Meet
kind
in
of
the middle
talk
at
is, like,
195.
195.
Yeah, Neil can just eat all that pizza.
There'll be a lot more options if I got out of the heavyweight class. But I mean, I'm a big guy. I got big bones. Like it would be, I don't want to change my body shape.
Okay, Cartman. I got big bones.
You guys know how it works, right? So if you want to gain a lot of weight, you sit here. So 2 or 3 Fridays here of the pizza show, right? You'll be fat as fuck. And if you want to be anorexic and thin, miss 2 or 3 Fridays, and you're set.
That's
There you
it.
go.
That's it.
Start live eating pizza on Fridays.
There was like that YouTube guy that did that, right? Or he was like a Twitch streamer or whatever, like the mukbang guy. He like gained like 400 pounds just like eating disgusting shit.
Hey, what about the other guy who did the opposite? Like he filmed like a year's worth of videos, and then he would post them on like a regular schedule, and he lost like 150 pounds while these were being played. So then one
then there
day
was
he
that-
just like dropped his like weight loss video.
And then there was that guy that did that McDonald's thing, and he ate it, supersized me, whatever, and then he died of cancer. So
He
we went.
died of French fry cancer.
Like, okay,
Got him.
I'm telling you guys, I know that people are like, oh, but I love the fries and a shake, man, and the nuggets. Are you kidding me? Come on, you idiots. Like, this shit's proven. It gives you fucking cancer. Why would you continue to eat the cancer fries? Come on.
Because it tastes so good. So good when it hits your lips.
Golly, I get it. But, I mean, sometimes you just got to know what's good for you. And that's not good for you. And I'm sorry.
You know what is good for you though, Jay
By the
Shane?
way,
Is sharing the space.
What's that?
Sharing the space. That's what's good for you.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of things. Full disclosure, this is Jay Chains. I am the Crypto Mag voice today. That is my opinion. I don't know if everybody else shares it, but that is my opinion about the McDonald's thing. Anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you so much.
Now the McDonald's lawyers need now how they know where to go.
That's why.
Leave Nathan alone. He loves McDonald's.
Well,
You will get a
I figured I'd
lifetime
throw
of
out
fries,
just throw out one of those little warnings or whatever they're called, disclaimers. But with that being said, guys, perfect opportunity. If you are watching the live stream over on YouTube, go ahead and smash the like. If you're watching on X, hit the heart. You know that I appreciate that because you guys have just like, I don't know, a disability when it comes to hitting the heart on a live stream video on X. And I love you guys. I promise you I do. But for some reason, like just to like with your thumb to hit a heart, it's not hard and it's not painful and it's just super easy and fast. Anyway, but if you are in the space, you could also go down to the bottom right, hit the purple pill, tag a couple friends. You could do that or go to the pin post on the Web3 Breakfast account. We could bring that up to the breakfast table here. I could do that momentarily. And that will be the post. If you want to try to win some Gotti today, that's something we do every single day on the Web3 Breakfast. If this is your first time joining and you're like, what is happening right now? Quick kind of little rundown. Again, my name is Jay Chains. I am joined in the co-host seat by the Web3 Breakfast. That is Mr. Dude. And so we are the Web3 Breakfast. We do the show at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. So this is our partnership with Crypto Mag. So this is the pretty much the Monday morning market updates. As you guys know, crypto may be on a tear. This could be the October we were dreaming about. We are right in that sweet spot of the 11th to the 15th, right? Today's the 14th. So this could be it. Let's talk about that in a minute here. But also, I do want to make sure, let's go to the profile, Web3 Breakfast.
Hey, while you're grabbing that to pin up there, happy Thanksgiving Monday to my fellow Canadians.
Oh, okay.
And I guess happy former Columbus Day. It's not called Columbus Day in the States or something anymore. I guess.
Oh no, it's called Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like,
It is
I'm
trying
not,
to
I
change
don't,
it
I was
to
gonna say, like, if it's because Columbus might have been a bad dude, I got a news break for everybody. Fucking everybody 100 to 500 years ago was a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna erase history because of the woke culture, but also I didn't even remember this, and so I was driving into the studio today, and I tweeted it. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, because the streets were empty. I'm like, for a Monday, what's going on? And then, I talked with the wife and she's like, yeah, it's a holiday. It's a federal holiday. I was like, huh, okay, cool. Well,
Show
anyway,
must go
so
on.
happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Happy Columbus Day to us Americans. If you're going to just be so mad at me for saying that, I apologize. Indigenous Peoples Day sounds weird.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, especially, yeah. Yeah. There's no way around it.
Yeah, there's just.
Do
that's
you
just
want
not-
to know? I'm 10% Native American, but I can say this. You want to know something that's technically true? If you were born in America, you're Native American.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? That's a factual statement. It may be offensive, but that is a factual statement. So.
All of this, it's just annoying. It's got to go, in my opinion. It's just got to go.
Well, and I just think there's different ways to like remember. So, like in Canada, so September 30th we have Orange Shirt Day, which, funny enough, I'm wearing an orange shirt, and that's because when Canadians, like, we took all the Native kids from their families, put them in residential schools, right, and treated them like shit, and that's fucking most of religious history. So we have like Orange Shirt Day, which is like Indigenous Remembrance Day to remember, like, honor them for how shitty we treated them as well, right? So there's like different ways to honor instead of just Columbus Day was because Columbus found America. And then what happened after that was basically what happens in every single country on the planet, like throughout history, where it's like they're fighting and conquering.
That's like that was the way the world worked, right?
Well, and that's why we have the history, because we don't want that world anymore, right? So you
Correct.
don't erase it. You sit there and say, okay, yeah, that wasn't very cool, and let's not repeat that. And if you delete the whole thing, then no one's going to know, like, hey,
And then someone comes along and repeats
that
it
shit
because they
wasn't
don't
cool.
know.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, and so fun fact, I found out from my wife. My wife, so she used to be a paralegal, and she ran her own law office. She like worked in like with lawyers as well before she opened her own. And we have like reparations and shit like in North America for like the white people and like the governments and the natives. I found out that it's because if America were to invade Canada or Canada invade America the other way around, it's like you have to declare war. In like international society and international rules of war, you have to declare war or you can't take land. So in North America, we actually never declared war against the natives. We actually just like slaughtered each other back and forth. So like that's why it's like in this weird international gray area where it's like, well, you never actually declared war, so you kind of actually just stole the land. But if you say like war and you write it down on paper, I guess.
Well, we have a lot of weird history here because we have the front. We sell you the Louisiana Treaty for like $10 million.
No, I will tell you, I eat freedom fries, freedom toast, and I freedom kiss. That's what I do.
And then you have the Mexicans over there with California. Like, yeah, you want it? Here you go, have it.
And that's a little bit of world history on a Monday for everybody.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Perfect. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time joining us, concludes our Chop Shop, where it's like the Seinfeld of Web3 shows. We talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. It's just a good way to warm up the vocal cords so that the rest of the show is an absolute smash. And speaking of smash the like button, hit the heart, repost the space, do what you got to do if you're trying to win $100, and let's talk about crypto. If you want to come up and join the conversation today, all you got to do is raise your hand. And if we feel like you're an actual account not wanting to know about the security and scalability and how to protect the privacy of a community, then we're glad to bring you up here. But if we feel like that is going to be your question, you're going to be booted so fast, you won't even know what hit you. That's
hey, we could talk about the tickling of Bitcoin at 65,000, man. It doesn't want to go over 65,000. It's like right there, it's tickling. But I will tell you something.
Well, I guess that was it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. What's bullish, guys, is Tether and USDC are less than $1, which means people are selling that shit and moving it to other things.
That's
so there
good.
You go.
I think this could be the beginning. Now, I am a little annoyed because you know how they say pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. I had the feeling, right? I was all back and forth all weekend. I had long orders set. I would cancel them, redo them. I'm like, all right. Is it going to dip? And I even posted, do you think it's going to dip or rip tomorrow? And I still set an order in case it dipped, even though I really kind of was feeling like it wasn't going to. And I could have lowered my leverage just so I could have been in and not worried about a liquidation, even if it did dip. But I didn't because I got greedy and I wanted to get in at a lower price. I mean, look what happened now. So what do you guys think? Are we going to correct to something reasonable, or are we off to the races now?
No, we got some weird timing because, I think we got election coming up here, 24 days, 23, whatever the hell it works out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a long time for the market to stay positive, in my opinion. So
with no catalyst, right?
Yeah, the catalyst would probably be towards the end of the month when, everything starts to get hyped up there. I don't know. It seems to hit 65 or go to that. It just can't press past it. So there's not a lot of momentum. And if you look at the fear and greed index, it's 45, which is neutral. So maybe coming off a little bit of lows, and maybe it sits in this place. Maybe it's going to be boring, man. I don't know. Maybe we just have some stability. I don't know. It's crazy to think. What's going on? Stability.
Yeah. Well, Bitcoin just became a stable coin. Just 65K just locked in for a month. Now, see, that's the thing. I think we're still going to see some decent activity out through the rest of this year, right? Now, we have been really looking at this. And if you look historically, again, like what I had mentioned earlier on, is that, there are some statistics that would say between like the 11th and the 15th that's the sweet spot for October to really kick off. Well, today's the 14th and it's kind of kicking off. We bounced between 61 and 63 for a couple days throughout for most of October so far, and with a little bit of fluctuation down into the 50s at one time, 58.
We're doing good.
You know what I mean? So
you're right. 3.4% up today for Bitcoin, and 3.5 for Ethereum. Solana's up at 3.6. BNB's up 1.2.
One of the problems, and let's talk about this. Let me ask you guys a question. One of the problems with you call it being jaded, PTSD, experience in the market, all that, not trusting of pumps, especially just coming out of a kind of a volatile period, a bear market. And then we've had, obviously it's gone up. So I don't want to say that it's been a bear market, but it hasn't been the bull run we've all expected. But, knowing that a lot of us really say all right, when it pumps, the harder it pumps, the more it dumps, or the harder it dumps, the more it pumps, saying all of that. What do you guys think right now should we expect? Because, I think a lot of people are in the same boat where maybe you don't quite trust it, but you also know that, the parabolic phase literally is right around the bend.
Can I tell you one thing, and then I'll be done here?
Absolutely.
Go to CoinMarketCap, go to the chart on Bitcoin, select 1 year, and then tell me if that's not a beautiful chart. There is no volatility. There really is no volatility.
Yeah,
it has been a rip roaring up with little corrections here and there. It has been a fucking stable coin since basically March.
You're bang on, M-Kid.
Look at the all-time.
It was like March 5th, Jay. We hit on March 5th, we hit 63-ish, and then it kind of spiked up to 70-ish right around there. And then it dipped back down, right? And it's just been roaming around in the 60s ever since.
Yeah, technically it's still on a downtrend, right? So if you were to take that year chart that MK was just talking about, you could probably find a way to say all right, we're still somewhat trending down from that. And so now we got to set your lines and figure out when do we break structure. Once we break structure, or if we get rejected from that trend line, then it's either on or we're in a holding pattern. And we'll take a look at all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to do the 4 p.m. show. I got a lot of things to do today. And again, I forgot it was a holiday. So we're doing the morning show. I may take the afternoon off and then just be back tomorrow, but we'll be back to looking at charts. Got a lot of things to look at. There's some good. I
think we can all agree there's a shit ton of support for Bitcoin, and come on. Yes, it can pull back to pulls back to 60. It's still at 60,000. You go back 1 year ago, it's at 27,000. There ain't no $27,000 Bitcoin coming back.
Absolutely.
I think that ship has sailed. Yeah.
Even take it one step further and again hit the all-time chart. Looking at some of the big time spikes of volatility, right? Obviously in 2018 we hit 20K. You get to was it 2022 when the first time we hit 69K, and then last year, this year, 2024, when we did another. So you even see these peaks. There's 3 major peaks throughout the all-time chart on CoinMarketCap, and it still looks good. It's still going up. We are in the point when we are about to hit another leg up, which is I'll tell you what, man. If you're not excited for crypto, I don't know what to tell you, because this is going to be it. But again, let's go back to our question. If anybody else wants to answer that, or feel free, guys. Remember, if you're down in the crowd and you want to participate, all you got to do is raise your hand, come on up to the stage, and be a part of it. What do you think? Shout I see Shirley Lowe down in the crowd. What's up, Shirley? There's a bunch of people down in there. Shout out to y'all down there. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the heart, smash the like, do the things. You literally could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are here, so we just sure do appreciate that. Thank you. But talk to me about crypto, Tony. I know you came up here, brother. What do you suppose is some best practices that people should be looking at right now? Cool, Tony, my guy. Nothing.
No, he's perfectly right. You hold and do nothing. There you go.
All right. I mean, what do you guys think? If you guys are up here on the stage, let's talk about the crypto markets. Where do you feel like? Do you trust it? Are you like what are you doing? Are you holding? Are you buying? Let's talk about it. I want to know.
Holding and buying. GM, my man. How you doing?
Dude, my brother, I'm doing well. It's great to see you this last week.
Yeah, good times. But no, as far as Bitcoin, I mean, I accumulate during dips. You're going to see as you zoom out, like you guys are mentioning in the chart, there will be pullbacks. We will see even in, the depths of the bull market, pullbacks at times. I'm extremely bullish for years to come, especially on Bitcoin. And yeah, a year ago under 30K, I mean, we can't really be, we're at over 60 right now. So, I mean, like, yes, alts are still way behind and haven't really done much. But I mean, in the long term, Bitcoin's going up. So if you see a dip, I always try to like add a little to the bag because I'm in it for years. Yeah. Not days or months.
So I mean, even as an OG, still doing the DCA strategy. I mean, I love that. I mean, that's one of the best ways and best practices that people can finally become financially free or independently wealthy or whatever your goal is with crypto. I mean, it is, if you just constantly take care of those dips in the upturn, right? I think the strategy of DCAing, buying when crypto's going down is not the right move. This is the time to be doing it, not at the end of the market. At the end of the cycle that's when you just stop and you tether off and you let it drop. Don't keep buying it. And some people are going to do what they want, but that's just silliness when you know it's going to drop.
No, true. When you get to the sort of the end of the cycle, or you see big shifts in the economy and it goes down, it's not necessary to be really picking up because it could and will fall more. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're investing into crypto in general, and you're not watching the charts every day, if you set like a DCA time schedule, not even based off percentages, overall you should be up significant amount, even regardless of the cycle. I think I mean, just how far Bitcoin's come. But yeah, for those paying attention more, when you see that downturn, it's probably just keep the dry powder, keep the cash on the side a little bit, and wait for it to settle down. You'll get much further ahead too.
Hey, Dabatola, while we got you, for anybody who's unfamiliar with you and like what you do, why don't you give everybody a little background on what you do? I know you're big with the Karate Combat.
I help run the IFC with George and the team, and that's the main focus right now is building that up and part of Karate Combat. So that's been amazing. And then outside of that, just doing a little streaming with Josh on meme coins, low market cap stuff, and a little bit of content here and there. But the main focus is IFC.
The name of your show is Dirty Degens, right?
Correct.
Nice. What days do you guys do your shows?
We're doing Wednesday and Friday right now. I'm not sure if this Wednesday we're going to go back on to like a new schedule we were trying, which was a little bit earlier in the afternoon so that both the States and European followers could go. But otherwise we were generally 7 p.m. on Central Time.
Nice.
On Wednesday, Friday.
Boom. Dude, let's collab. I want to collab with you guys.
For
So-
sure. And you guys have been killing it here every morning. Like I was telling you last week, or like when I saw you, God, that wasn't, yeah, I guess that's technically last week.
Yeah.
Um,
Funny.
yeah, I wake up and there's just so much stuff going on. I'm always trying to hop in and listen, but no, it's really cool to get pulled up and say what's up to you guys. You guys are absolutely crushing it here. And for all those that, don't know, we should definitely spread the word about what you guys got going on. It's a super solid morning show. I love how you'd also watch it on YouTube as well as on Twitter. So that the best of both worlds there. So hats off to you guys.
I appreciate it, man. That's the thing, right? It's like you steal a little bit of things from where you get the, where you get the best advice from, right? And it's kind of like that play on the Gary V model of taking it's like that pillar content, right? And to like take it one step forward is where you obviously chop it up into the small short form stuff and then you distribute it out. Like his whole thing was like you could take a 1 hour show and make it into like 100 pieces of content based on different platforms and different styles and how you chop it up and do things. And so I mean that's the whole thing, right? And I think this is the time, and you guys have a cool show, and everybody that's putting in the effort, and I think that's at the end of the day, that's the whole message to all of this, is that this is the time to be putting in the effort. I mean, like look at what like Blocky is doing, right? Blocky and Doom, like they're doing their show. Like I love seeing everybody starting to put the effort out and putting their shows together, because like the attention is about to come. We know that there's no retail in crypto. We're the retail. Like the 25 people, the 24 guys and one girl that are in crypto right now are the retail, right? It's going to come. And that was a joke. Obviously, we know that there's more than that. But, the whole idea of what we're doing this for is to educate people and to make sure that they're making the right decisions. There's a lot of, and somebody posted this yesterday. I forget who it was. Was it somebody in our community or was it just something that I reposted? And they were talking about, the whole consistency thing. And, when you're looking at shows and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, who the people that you should be watching, right? And the whole idea is you need to be listening to people who are consistent and have been there. Don't find the opportunists that scammed a whole bunch of people, ran away, and then coming back to do it again, right? You got to make sure that you find the people who grounded out here through the bear market, because they're the real ones trying to give you real information. And that's like the people in our community, like have been here doing it every freaking day. And, again, you see these accounts pop up that you haven't seen in a year. You wonder why, right? It's because it's getting ready to be the bull run, and they're just opportunists. So,
well, what you guys are doing is you guys are building the foundation, right? If you don't have a strong foundation, what happens? It crumbles and it falls apart.
Correct.
But if you have a strong foundation, well, you can build success and productivity off of that. And that's what you guys are doing. You guys are making a historical record here of, every show is recorded, every post is here. People can look back. You guys are an information resource for people to come back and say, oh, geez, these guys were here during the bear market and they were positive, and man, they were, not bullshitting people. They were giving people facts and information. And it's, that's what investors, when people are looking to invest, I think this next round, people are going to be a lot more cautious and just throwing money after, it ain't 21 anymore. It ain't 18 or 17 where you could just throw money at anything. I think people are looking for, plays and stability and people that are educated and smart in this space. And this is a beautiful platform because it's so diverse from everything, NFTs to gaming, to utility, to meme coins, to whatever else people are doing here. It is a wonderful resource, and fun and entertaining. And you get a chance to win some Gotti. So, I'm a little biased, I think this place is fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you, man. And, and it goes for really anybody, right? And I like what you say there. And, we'll get back to maybe the conversation in a second here, but really quick about the whole Gotti thing. Guys, you're going to make sure that if that's something you're interested in trying to win some of, go up to the breakfast table, as we like to call it. And you can see that post. It is also pinned on the profile for the Web3 Breakfast on X, in case you're watching the live stream. So you can go there and check that out if you're trying to win a Hyundai and well, that screwed me up by saying a Hyundai instead of 100. So 100. Let's do it. I'm going to try it again. A Hyundai and Gotti. Okay, that was not as hard as it should have been. Thank you. My life is a sitcom now, with the canned laughter.
It's for the ego, man. We gotta help sometimes, right?
Thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome, man.
Everybody just tuned it out at that point.
No, I thought you were going to say win a Hindu and Gotti. I was like, oh wow, we're gonna. You get Pajit and some Gotti. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Speaking of other giveaways, I've got to put some stuff together at the conference, or I guess it was actually at the Karate Combat fight. It wasn't at Permissionless. I got a bunch of Hedera socks, and I can already tell that these things are going to be way not for me. I've got like a sweaty foot syndrome, and this is that kind of a material. I believe it's like acrylic or whatever like those socks are that you get like that, like
those winter ones, those like don't wear unless it's freezing cold in
Yeah,
Canada.
not
Exactly. You
even
probably have
that,
no idea
like-
what I'm talking about.
it's like they're like acrylic or polyester or whatever. Like I have to like if I'm gonna wear socks, I hate socks, but if I'm gonna wear them, they've got to be cotton only, just because of my feet sweat. Like Crocs, like I can't wear Crocs without socks because my feet sweat just entirely way too much.
Plus, you get weird blisters on the end of your toes. I've done that where it was like one day, like where I was like, you see them, you buy Crocs, and like I had no idea, right? My wife's like, here are Crocs. I was like, cool. These look like sandals, basically. I will just put my foot in and we'll go for a walk around the block. And then I had these weird blisters on the end of my toes for fucking months.
They get the little,
Now
they
I
got the
wear
little
Crocs.
nubby like foot
Yeah.
stoppers on the inside.
Yeah.
Crocs.
So then I obviously had to get those giblets, and I got one of Randy from South Park, and then I got him saying Hakuna Matata because it just felt right.
The giblets.
Because Randy, yeah, you know those little things that go in the Crocs to like make you cool.
Oh. So we recently found one with the letter J. I had to.
Whoa, wild.
Yeah. So like, and,
Who would have thought that of all the letters in all of the world, in all the land, that there would be a J?
yeah, and I don't even know. Like, it literally was like we had found it in our hotel room, or like at like right out by our hotel room, or wherever it was. And so like Emmy picked it up, and we popped it on my Croc, and it was great. So I got camo Crocs with the letter J on it.
Legend. It's such a dad move. Look at us bragging about our Crocs.
Golly, make sure you guys don't leave the show because we're talking about Crocs.
Yeah,
Do
no,
they
you
have
rode,
those,
you rode at the same time, and it came out sounding a little bit different there. And I was like, I don't want to put anything on anybody's, you know what? There you go. There you go.
Oh,
This is a docking free show.
I was gonna ask if they have any crypto ones that you could put on there. Like, do they sell Bitcoin, whatever they are, like
Hey, there's
Bedazzled or
a
whatever it
market
is?
there. That's a good idea, Dabatola.
what are
for the
those
next,
things called?
Giblets.
Jib. Sorry, it's just
Giblets.
I'm gonna make some now and bring them
No,
to
no, no, no,
fucking.
no.
I
the next
immediately
Karate
think of
Combat.
riblets
Hold
for some
up,
reason.
hold up. You said giblets?
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
giblets or gibbets or something weird like
Giblets,
that.
really quick. Giblets are like the things inside the turkey that you usually don't eat, but like grandmas usually want to put it in the stuffing. It's
No,
like,
no, those are gizzards.
oh, we called them giblets.
Wait, I think he's right. It's gibbets, Jibbitz, gibbets charms for Crocs. This is all right. So we got to make some crypto ones.
I'm looking up. Well,
That the Karate Combat logo would be a good one. Probably sell out.
Boy, y'all wait till J Chain step outside in his fresh pair of Crocs, man. He's gonna have so many giblets all over him. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna
Yo,
say
I'm gonna be
Web3
like,
Breakfast
what-
Club, J Chains. It's gonna have Karate Combat.
Hmm.
It's gonna be supporting all the projects.
No
on
one's
his
gonna be
Crocs.
fucking with this dad out on the street. They're gonna be
Darn
like,
right.
"Whoa, he's got some dangerous looking gibbets."
what's that movie with like the flare when they put it on like their suspenders? Come on, someone.
Oh my
knows
god,
what
it's like Office Space or something where he's like, yeah, it's with Jennifer Aniston.
Thank you for knowing that. I thought that there was going to be a awkward moment of silence where nobody knew this movie, even though it's a cult classic. Thank you,
I got you.
appreciate you.
I think that's the quickest way to get robbed because you're gonna have all your little crypto on your Crocs, and then somebody's gonna know you're a real crypto baller.
You know, it's
They'll
so
be like,
funny
"Give me
that
your
you
Crocs,
say that.
please."
I'm gonna be like, gotcha, I'm poor. Ah.
Where's your ledger?
But you know what crypto is, so now I'm robbing you. You know, that's really funny. That was like back in the day, one of the like original OPSECs that you'd have to talk to people about, because people would be walking around looking like a bozo with like their Bitcoin t-shirt on. It's like, you're just a fucking target, right? You literally are just a walking target for a criminal to hijack you and steal your Bitcoin from you. But now,
Well, there
nobody
was that
cares.
plate like it was after Portugal. Oh, it was like Belgium or something, and everyone was getting fucking robbed in Belgium.
Yeah, that's right. By like the little scooter guys or bicyclists or
So you can't be showing off that you're a nerd because then they assume you also can't fight.
No. What you got to
They'll be
do
like-
is you keep your shirt with the with the really good coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever case on that, and then on your shorts you wear you have a couple meme coins that rug. That way they know you don't have any money left. So you're good.
Smart. You just put all the wallet drainers on your underwear.
See, for me, it'd be like I had the Bitcoin giblet on my Crocs. I had the Bitcoin giblet, and somebody come walking up and be like, "How much Bitcoin you got?" I'm like, no, I don't have any. I just like the giblet.
Yeah. Oh no, my name's Billy. It's just a B, bro.
What's crypto? That's a fucking scam.
No, you could probably get away with the Bitcoin because nobody think you could afford to get one Bitcoin anyway. So like, yeah, this guy ain't got shit. So there you go.
What
Like-
joke's on you? They're right.
Like, buddy, come on. Those things are expensive. You don't think I have that kind of money, do you?
Hello, sir.
Who's this?
Hello, buddy.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yep. That's it.
Go for more.
Ask your question, buddy. Come on. You're here all the time. Come on, ask.
Okay, sir. My question is, security is the most important thing to consider when studying after project.
Sexual content.
No.
Yes.
Mr. Dude, where are you?
I'm sorry.
I reported, and I was just deciding what to report him as. Like,
I
epic
told you
sexual
guys.
content.
I feel harassed.
I literally told you guys, do not come up here and ask those call center questions in our show anymore. You will be booted so fast. Stop with it. Stop with it.
All right, sweetie, your turn.
But I kind of like it. It reminds me of it's so nostalgic part of our history.
What's your name's
It
a
just-
fucking general.
If we don't get at least one of those people up a day, it doesn't feel right.
The only person that's allowed to ever do that stuff is the commander. That's it.
Yeah, the commander. That was it.
Yes. The commander never asked, "Can you hear me?" The commander just went right in and started with the F-bombs and right at Mr. Dude. I mean, see that's if you're gonna come in and attack, you got to just go right for the jugular. Just
Yeah, you can't give us time to react.
No, right? Surprise!
And you got to drop F-bombs at Mr. Dude. If you don't drop F-bombs at Mr. Dude, then it's just not worth it.
That's
I'm
factual.
still waiting
facts
for him
right
to
there.
come back.
Come in hot and
Okay,
heavy.
sweetie, I saw you on mute. Sweetie, ask your question. Let's hear it. It's kind of nice being able to say, like, "Hey, sweetie, go ahead."
I'm telling your wife you said that.
Sweetie be like, "Hello."
This is a recorded space.
All right. Well, sweetie,
All right, we tried.
I see the thing. I think like the audio thing moving for sweetie, but I don't hear anything.
Hey, sometimes you open your mouth and just nothing comes out.
They just move the lips and but talk a bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, there you go.
I had to channel my my inner Eminem there.
Hey,
Anyway,
Because they forgot.
Come on.
They forgot about Dre. That's why. So there you go.
Exactly.
You forgot about Jay.
Is it just like a is it a Twitter Spaces thing that everyone feels like they have to say, "Can you hear me?" Like right when they come up, like just start
It's
talking.
not like a Verizon fucking commercial.
I mean, at this
Remember
point, it's
those?
got to
Can
be
you hear
a
me?
meme.
Can you hear me now?
Can you guys hear me? Yeah. I mean, unless your microphone's not plugged in, which wouldn't be my fault or Mr. Dude's fault or Nathan's fault. What's up, Nathan?
Can you hear me?
You son of a gun.
Now he's going to talk about security of our project. Here we go. Go ahead, Nathan. But actually, he's the only person I would trust with security. in the
Yeah, and it's
project.
funny because this whole show, everything bad that happens is his responsibility.
See, don't be telling me that. It's yeah, no, I heard. Here's an interesting question for you. Like for example, that last though, because I see these people being kicked from spaces and things like that, and I know you guys are pretty stringent with your like. Come on, ask a decent question. But we didn't get to the end of the guy's question. I
He's
mean,
been on before. Buddy McCoy always tries to come up and ask that.
That's-
Keep trying with him.
There's a strategy where they feel like if they come up and ask a question or like raise their hand, like it's going to increase the odds of winning. There is like something that, because sometimes it actually works. It's weird. I'm not advocating that you guys do that.
But we had someone else last week. Remember, I was like, "Hey, are you doing that?" And the guy was super honest, and he was like, "No, like that doesn't work. I'm actually just up here to get followers because when I come up here, I get followers."
Well, as part of kind of the advice we give other projects when they're booking marketing platforms, I always say to them, look, stay away from these platforms that if you're paying for an AMA, stay away from these platforms that say we're doing a giveaway, the best question stands to win $50, or because you can guarantee none of those people in that AMA are actually there to invest in the project. They're there to ask the question and win $50. So I completely get that. But what I was going to say is with the you guys were just talking about the Bitcoin on your Crocs and things like that.
Mhm.
And this was a topic of conversation not so long ago in regards to like personal security within the blockchain space and the rise now on kidnappings in regards to people taking someone that they believe or taking a family member that they believe have a large crypto holding and then forcing them to give seed phrases. In Europe, that's rocketed recently. And we got onto that conversation because people were, I was talking to a guy and he said, yeah, I just don't invest in anything if the developer's anonymous. And I said, well, you've got to understand there's a number of reasons why you would be anonymous. Number one is the security risk. If you've got and you're publicly known or your wallets show that you've got tens of millions of dollars, do you want to be walking around and do you want to put your family at risk when it comes to people potentially? I mean, how easy is it to nab I mean, God forbid it doesn't happen, but nab a kid or a wife or a parent and then say, we're not releasing them unless you send us a seed phrase. And there's no bank transfers. There's no way of actually tracking these guys that you've just given the seed phrase to once they've sent it to their wallet and then flipped it into Monero and all sorts. So I said you do have, and obviously you've also got the other aspect of kind of individual country laws. Are you allowed to deal with crypto within your country? It was just you guys just mentioning about the like putting that Bitcoin. It's like, well, how far do you go? You're a huge supporter of Bitcoin, but do you take that risk of going out covered in Bitcoin logos and things like that?
Yeah.
Hell no.
I mean,
I can answer that question.
That's a to each their own thing, right? Like for me, for example, right? Yes, I do. Like I wear my Web3 breakfast hat just about everywhere that I could go. Especially if I'm traveling in an airport, or I'll wear my IFC or karate combat gear wherever I go. Now those are a little bit different, right? Like there's some different undertones. You can have some different conversations with that. It's not like wearing a Bitcoin shirt, but as an evangelist for this whole ecosystem, I do have Bitcoin shirts. I have Ethereum shirts. I have all that kind of stuff. And yes, I do wear them when I feel like it's the right time. Right. And you'll never know when it's going to be the wrong time. It'll just be the wrong time. Right. So you can't like really prepare for it, but you could just make some informed decisions of where you're going. Like if I was going to go to a White Sox game with my mom's house on the south side of Chicago, I'm not wearing a fucking Bitcoin shirt. Right. I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing a
Well, it
chain
probably
and a
depends
Bitcoin
on
shirt.
countries too. Like obviously, so like Nathan's in the UK where like there are soccer players or football players who literally use a fake name because they're from like Brazil, for example. A lot of like the football factory in Brazil pumps out like a lot of Premier League players, and they'll use their fake name because what happens is their family is actually kidnapped in Brazil and held ransom for money when they're making hundreds of thousands of pounds a week.
Oof. I mean,
Yeah.
So it probably depends. Like if you go to Brazil, if there's a fight in Brazil, and let's take all like the political shit aside and go backwards like 5 years, and you go to Brazil, it's like probably maybe that's the trip that you go on, and you don't promote that you're there for a crypto event.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: is you don't have to dox yourself to anybody in this space, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a trustworthy person and people trust you and you do business with people, then people will dox themselves to you.
Absolutely.
Fair, it's a good question. I know I've mentioned it before, like the Polygon. So there is one employee in Polygon that like if I actually was employed by Polygon, I would have to dox like my real name, not just Mr. Dude, to this one person. But Sandeep could never know who I am. Like, he doesn't care. The guy's the founder. Him and Mark don't care that most of their employees, they call them by whatever their X account name is, and like that's it. So that's like pretty cool. But there's obviously one person who just needs to know.
Yeah. So like what B Frank says, that's 100% factual. I am under several NDAs where someone has, like, we've had an identity where I know someone, they've doxed to me, but I've signed an NDA that's between us. That's it. That's as far as it goes. And there's a lot of people like that in the space. But that's the whole point. There are other entities too that we've seen meme coins get into. There's one, and these aren't endorsements. These are just letting you know that these options are out there, like docs.io. That'd be like that same thing where the dev of a project can dox to a platform, so they know exactly who they're dealing with, so that as a customer you'll feel more comfortable. But the customer is not going to know who the dox person, the dox founder or the dev is.
And also too, if you want to get as a founder and you want to get on like certain exchanges and stuff like that, I don't want to get too much alpha, but I have talked with exchanges. They knew who I am. They knew who the real M Kid is, because that's because there's credentialing on that. Now, because we're a DeFi token and there's a whole bunch of legal ramifications here in the United States with clarity of what a founder can do and cannot do, you can't. It's not a wise decision. Now, some point down the road, all this crypto stuff, we get actual regulation for DeFi and self custody and all these different things. I have no problem doxing. But you just have to be very cautious because we're in a gray area. And, again, ultimately down the road, you should have a cryptocurrency or a platform that is power to the people, where it's not so much focused on founders and people behind it, that it's just pure and genuine. But anyways, I digress.
And we're all pretty normal people here. We might have our quirks, but there are some crazy people out there. You know what I'm saying? Like legit crazy.
So do you think let's this whole kind of idea of being doxxed in the space and all that, and there are security protocols and all that stuff being in line with all that, but do you think that as we get closer to more regulation and things become a little bit more stable and it's not so much like the Wild West anymore, quote unquote, that we will see? Because most normal people in the real world, they're not going to advertise that they're millionaires or however much money they have, but they'll live an extravagant lifestyle, and it's a little bit different, right? Do you think that as we get more regulation, that someone who is extremely wealthy in the crypto space would feel more comfortable because maybe there are more protections in place?
No, because it never takes away the criminal element. So I mean, you doing KYC, you're doing all this kind of stuff, you're doxing. It's still always, you're just like celebrities and things like that. Your family's always at risk, and you're always going to have a security detail of some sort when you go out in public, where you're at. And I don't think a lot of people want to take on that type of responsibility. For what? There's no positive gain for it for most people, and there's a lot of risk and liability. I think that's part of the thing with crypto is you still have some degree of anonymity, that you are, even though the wallets can be seen, there isn't an actual name on it. That's what DeFi is cool. I mean, if we're going to go all centralized, and you go all centralized, and even centralized is even, I think, safer than DeFi, because people don't know what they have in my Coinbase wallet. But sure as hell, if people know my, DeFi wallets, they know exactly how much I have to the penny, and whether, I spent $17 on something or $17,000 on something, they know exactly what it is. So there's a double-edged sword where nobody's bank, no billionaire's bank account is public information, right? So, but in crypto, your wallets are public information, but your name isn't. So it's really kind of a unique scenario. But yeah, I don't think a lot of rich people are going to want to put their names out there and say, hey, I got 8,000, 20,000 Bitcoin. Yeah. Unless they're bragging about it and that's their business and that's their credentialing. Right. If you have 20,000 Bitcoin and you're a Bitcoin maxi, you could put your money where your mouth is. So
I was going to say the other side of this is that if you're just living that luxury kind of lifestyle and what like that, you're a target, period, whether you're in crypto or not.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's so the thing is like really if it's a balance, I would say. If you're out there wearing like your outfit's worth 10 grand, you got like a $40,000 watch on or something even crazier than that, like a nice Rolly or whatnot. I mean, people take notice of that. When you go to the grocery store, you do other things, like you're a target. You add, I guess, flashing your wallets and other things on top of that, you might get people that'll target you from further away, possibly. Because probably easier to launder crypto. Well, it's getting less easy now. But yeah, I mean,
hey, that article came out that I read, and I had posted something about that where TD Bank had just gotten fined like $3 billion for literally hiding cartel drug money, like laundering cartel drug money. And so it's like, okay, Elizabeth Warren, you said what about crypto and drug money now? Okay, just so we're all clear.
But what's hilarious is they're allowed to continue to operate.
Right.
Like, just pay us $3 billion and you can go about your business. I mean, that's just insane. If that was anybody else, you would be shut down. Why isn't TD Bank completely just shut down? Every account refunded, done. You can never do business. All the CEOs, all the executives, everybody fucking arrested and thrown into prison.
I've got some experience like working with law and law enforcement because we got a lot in our family and all that stuff. But something tells me if I were to get pinched working with the fucking cartel to hide their money, I would be in big trouble. And it wouldn't just be a fine that I would have to pay. I would be
you'd be with P. Diddy and FTX over there in that same cell.
Yeah, you'd be in custody. Why is the CEO of TD Bank not in custody right now in federal court? Like, that's insane. Like, you're working with the cartels and like now it's open knowledge?
Completely true.
What's that?
Yo, for real. No, I was gonna say for real. Like, it's crazy because, everyone, or at least a lot of politicians, want to say that crypto is like, for criminals and all this other shit, right? But as far as I know, the US dollar and lots of other ways have definitely been involved. If you stack up the number, of crimes committed with money laundering, racketeer, I mean, you name it.
Right.
Like, our normal currency, fiat, is the clear winner. Like, they're not going to shut down that. I mean, it's just an excuse because these people or those politicians or whatever don't have enough of themselves yet. When regulations, things change around, governments are stocking up or whatever, I see it being like that becoming less of an issue. It's just an excuse currently.
I think
I personally,
the information got out, and the government government's aware of it, but then the public became aware of it. Then the government has to show like they're not in cahoots with it.
Yeah.
So they have to put the penalties and things like, oh, we're punishing them,
And like, who knows?
I personally
what
think
about jail time?
Go ahead, Nathan.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I personally think that governments, I mean, they're not stupid. We might think they're stupid. I don't think, obviously, on one hand, they're telling you, this is the criminal, it's the criminal community that's using this. And of course, that's the case. But criminal community use cash as well. They use gold, but I think it's a matter of the government at the moment. They're making you look this way while they're doing something that way. And I think very, very quickly, it's a diversion tactic. And they've used this over and over again in political circles in different countries across the whole globe. They will divert you and make you look over here while they are doing something over there, and you're paying no attention to them over there. And they're not anti blockchain in my experience. I personally think they're building something over here, so they want everyone to be looking over here. I think they're just diverting people's attention away.
Absolutely, 100%. And there's always the idea too. And let's, when you talk about, say the government using blockchain and being into crypto and all that, we talk about, I think it's El Salvador buying a Bitcoin a day. There's probably some other countries doing it. And that's, the strategic reserve and all that stuff of Bitcoin. That's all fine and dandy. It's all wonderful. But what you have to do is know that there is definitely things going on behind the scenes. And so it's not about what they are telling you. It's about what they're not telling you. And that's usually where, the full picture gets lost upon us normies. But man, you are so right.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything with government and transparency that go hand in hand together.
Ain't lying about that.
Unless you track Nancy Pelosi's trading history, then.
Trader of the year. Shout out to her. I wish I copied trade. I wish I was in the stonks.
I was gonna say, you need to copy trade her, right? Shit.
That would you'd be a winner in the stock market. You'd be crushing it. I see we got a couple hands here. Let's go to Azumi. What's up, Azumi?
Hey guys, what's up? So I have a question, and I also want to chip in the conversation. But first, I want to get your take. So we know that the election is less than a month from here, and the U.S. elections, that is,
right?
In case it wasn't clear. So I have this theory that if Donald Trump is to win, the fact that one of his promises of the campaign was to make Bitcoin part of the reserve, even though he might do it, he might not do it, might have as well just been an empty promise, but it will make other countries try to front run whatever the US might be buying. So do you guys see some sort of fiat exodus in the reserves of other countries just to buy before the US?
Can I answer that real fast?
Absolutely.
You just saw the news coming out. What's China going to do? China's been banning Bitcoin. They said that now China is going to unban Bitcoin
Again?
by the end of the year. So.
Yay! Again, how many
So
times?
there you go. The answer is yes. You lead by example.
I got into crypto in 2017, early 2017, and I think this may be like the 10th time that China has banned or unbanned crypto. It seems like it was just like a narrative churner for a long time. Like, this means the bull run's going to start, guys, because China's back in. Okay, like they don't let anybody lose money. That's kind of the plan, right? They don't want people to lose money, so they say Bitcoin's banned while this shit is shit. And now they're like, well, it's back, baby. Let's get it. Because we're approaching the all-time high again. Once you get over a certain percentage of that, then it's technically a bull run. So they're going to let everybody get back in. It's a thing. It's manipulation. Guys, see the signs.
I don't think they want the orange man controlling Bitcoin and being United States being the center.
But I think to kind of take the a part of your question and pick that apart a little bit, or at least part of the statement about the reserve thing. I think knowing that Kennedy is going to play, if Trump gets elected, Kennedy's going to play a huge role in the administration, and the fact that both of them talked about the exact same thing at the Nashville conference leads me to believe that that is actually something that we'll see, and it's part of like what I've been talking about too over on our show. The rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday. Make sure you guys, we'll do a little room reset here in a second. But the whole idea of where, the first 100 days of the administration, where that's going to go. And if, obviously we got a lot of things to get through. We got immigration stuff. We've got economy things to get through. That's all a big part of it. That obviously will get us maybe out of a big debt that we're in, even though we don't really want them to sell the Bitcoin. But whatever. We'll probably see how that goes. But again, as long as we get through the first 100 days and we talk about Bitcoin, I think that is a very, very positive sign. Again, that plays into the whole let's see how the rest of this year plays out. Obviously, we're going to have a great quarter four, maybe get close to 100K. Touch that. It's too emotional, so we're going to come back down after the inauguration in January. Maybe we can start taking another run for it, but we cannot break that. We cannot break resistance at 100K until we have the support of retail, and we're going to need the government to say that crypto is okay, that we are moving forward with a strategic reserve, and then people are going to start buying it, and that's what's going to take us up over 100K. That's what I'm saying right now. We'll see how that plays out, but what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think you're like my bad. Go ahead, Mr. Dude.
No. I was just going to say real fast, I think you're 100% right. I think what we're going to see is the major onboarding on-ramp to get into crypto. So once you get the regulations coming through, if people can go to their Bank of America, their JP Morgan Chase, and just go on their little checking account, I can buy some Bitcoin. I think once you see that, that is how you're going to get retail in, because right now it's pretty complicated for a lot of people. They don't know how to onboard into crypto. But once you have the mainstream banks that can have self-custody, you open up to retail on a whole new level. Sorry, I'm done.
No.
And this
that's what it
this
needs.
opens
Literally,
up
that's
the
what we need.
question.
Go for it, though. Go for it, Zumi. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. This begs the question. So once governments are not rookie investors, they're not just gonna lump sum into Bitcoin. So will this change the paradigm or the status quo that we have cycles, or do you think that they will just defend their entry prices and we will not see any more below 50,000,
No,
for
and, like
example.
so that's a really good point, and I want to get other people's opinion about this because that was one of the biggest questions that I asked people permissionless. I asked David Schwartz with Ripple about this. Right, this is the one thing that I'm asking a lot of people about, and I love to hear people's opinion because it's all over the place, and it's to that same effect. It's also about the RWAs. It's also about what we're going to see with gaming. Like we are literally about to see our entire ecosystem explode. Right, RWAs going conservatively 16 to 30 trillion by 2030, guys. That's 5.5 years from now. The gaming ecosystem going up to 500 billion. I think that's at least a 10x. Same thing by 2030. Like we're going to see this stuff explode. Where do we have time for a bear market? And at what point are we going to decouple from this 4-year cycle? And even if it's just everything else from Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does stay on the 4-year cycle because the halving, so what? But at some point, everything else has to completely decouple because the ecosystems are going to outgrow it. They have to. They just have to. But what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we'll see a lot in the RWA plays. That will be cycle proof. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that's the first thing. Like I think, everyone was talking about AI and DePIN, and I'm not saying that's not big this cycle, but I think RWA is sneaking up and is gonna really kill it. And when you have, stuff like real estate and sports and all sorts of other things and tickets and driver's license and house deeds and just like all these different things come into play, like there's businesses that with RWA are going to be bringing money back in into their tokens or into their coins, and essentially is going to make it so that it's in my opinion, like, cycle proof. I mean, it might fluctuate a little bit with the overall economy, like, like most things, values, and you see it in homes and things, but I really think RWA is the one thing that will sort of even the playing field and maybe make a lot of people or a lot of projects cycle proof.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think too, like, and one more thing, and I want to get to, and I see we got a hand from Amy and anyone else that wants to talk about it. But like, when you think about that, right? Like Bitcoin, I know it's the king of crypto, but think about the stock market, think about the TradFi, right? If healthcare has a bad year, does consumer products have a bad year? No, they don't fucking run on the same verticals. So why does everything have to run along the same rails with Bitcoin? At some point, again, these ecosystems are going to outgrow what Bitcoin does because as a whole, they will be much larger as a market cap, and they can then go out on their own and just run independently. And I think we're actually starting to see that before our own eyes. I do. I really do. I think within the next 2 to 3 years, I think most things will be off the 4-year cycle, unless it's completely coupled to Bitcoin for whatever reason. That's my opinion, and I owe money to the opinion jar for saying that. So apologies.
No, you're. I'll tell you just to confirm it. I mean, factual proof doesn't have to be your opinion. Go look at the Bitcoin chart for the last year. That's a Bitcoin. I've been in Bitcoin since 2011. That's a Bitcoin I don't know. That this is unprecedented.
Right. Things are changing.
It's got a different feel. It's got a different
is here. It was something that it was a threat back in 17. So you've seen the whole change, right? In 2017, that was the threat. And that was the one thing that I said, listen, like you guys saw him screw up TradFi. Why'd you want him here? And this was 2018, 2019 too. But we saw it start to change. ETFs were the narrative. That all those things getting passed, that's institutional adoption happening right before your own eyes. You're seeing presidential candidates. At that point, Kennedy was a candidate, and so was Trump, talking about a strategic reserve of Bitcoin. That's governmental mass adoption, guys. That's it. We're here. It's happening. It's happening.
It is their creation, after all.
It is their creation, and maybe the time was right. We know, and you got to think, we know, and all the bullshit aside, you look at, the 92 years average lifespan of a strategic reserve currency, of a world currency. We are well above that. It's like the playbook's been put into play for a couple of years. Maybe this was the next play.
And to kind of add to my bad, let me start over. And to kind of answer Ismu's question, his first question there about the government. Sorry, I'm looking for a place to park. Looking the add to the reserve, Bitcoin to the reserve. That's one of those things, like you said yourself, the government is smart. They're not going to do something knowing, like, if they announce it, other people will scoop it up and dump it on them. You know what I mean? Like they're going to go ahead and add to it and then tell you later.
Yeah.
But also don't forget that I believe the United States is one of the biggest bag holders of crypto in the world already.
It's the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world, the U.S. government.
So technically they don't have to worry about being front run by anyone because they're already like the alpha bag.
All they got to do is just add it. Just
And
say
that also,
this
you
is
know,
part of the reserve now.
yeah, and it also begs the question again. So will the market get bamboozled, and are we going to be sidelined because we're just so used to, oh, okay, so it's almost a year after the cycle, so I'm just gonna get out because the market's gonna tank and blah blah blah. The market never tanks, and Bitcoin, which was supposed to be a statement against certain things that have been happening for hundreds of years, it then gets kind of hijacked by institutions and by governments.
You're right.
Then what was meant to be our freedom ends up being our shackles.
So here's the thing: don't give up your Bitcoin. Don't give up your cryptocurrency. Hold your power.
I agree. I agree with Jay Chains on this, right? What we're going to see is we're going to see crypto kind of turn into the stock market, where everything's going to have its own little division. You got housing, you got gaming, you got, all these other little different divisions of the stock market, and that's what you're going to see. And then they're all going to have their own little up and down and fiducial, like you see now. It's going to be a little bit more regulatory. But yeah, I agree with Jay Chains. You're going to see a lot of stuff outgrow Bitcoin and become its own thing.
I think even if again governments start being the major players in Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin as like the gold, if you like that gold standard, which is how a lot of people represent it, there are still other minerals out there. There's still other things you can hold money and earn money from: oil, silver, platinum, bronze. It's never just Bitcoin. I think that's the thing with the blockchain's an infinite resource of these potentially valuable minerals and gems, and you amethyst, you got rubies, diamonds. There's a multitude. Money's just not earned on that Bitcoin. So I think governments, they're still very naive to it. Everyone's heading towards Bitcoin. Well, fine. That's not a problem at all. There's plenty of others. We'll move towards diamonds. We'll move towards platinum. That type of thing.
You know what?
Well, it's going to be lithium, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I live in Carolina. I'm up to date.
You know
with
why
it,
they took
and
care of that lithium mine, bro? I'm all on that one.
Yeah, no, they're reopening it. They just announced they're reopening the lithium mine that closed down at Kings Mountain in the 1980s. They're going to reopen it. So
they're going to expand all that stuff now that everyone's house is gone, huh? Pretty much.
There's one that's not really in that area. It's about 45 minutes outside of Charlotte, and it was an old lithium mine that closed in the 80s that they pulled permits, and they did studies to see if it'd be safe to reopen. And they said it would be safe to reopen. So they're going to reopen that mine. But they did, there's a company called Piedmont something that pulled a permit to open a mine in Western North Carolina as well.
Nathan was saying something a second ago, and honestly, like, it almost made me have one of those moments where I'm like, oh shit, maybe the joke's going to be on me here. But like, there are the other things, there are the other commodities, or the other, like what he was speaking about, things that have value that maybe they're just not onto yet. And what if, gosh darn it, what if the whole plan was to make Cardano as boring as possible so everybody capitulated, and that's the one, and at the end of the day, the joke will be on me for talking trash for so long.
Bro, I don't know what your punishment should be right now, but you deserve some type of punishment for saying that.
Well, hey, it was a realization moment. It's not like I was talking trash. It was maybe, I'm not saying that I was wrong, but what I'm saying is, the world likes, the crypto world likes to do the opposite. And maybe Cardano is not dying. Maybe it's being suppressed because it is the next best thing. Maybe it is the Bitcoin killer.
I think what you're going to see too is you're going to see new tech and new blockchains and other tokens that aren't known to the world that become extremely valuable.
Thank you.
Because the crypto space and with tech, it happens in such a quick pace. Outside of Bitcoin and even Ethereum is struggling immensely. People like new flashy, and tech is new and flashy, and tech is always evolving. So I think we'll probably have some super blockchain that comes out down the road that goes into maybe trillions of dollars because it can do 10 trillion transactions a second with its quantum computing, and
Yeah,
and that's
there
probably
there
what
is
will happen.
some Bill Gates or Steve Jobs like in his garage right now, like building something that will change things that we've never even heard about or even like there's no concept for yet.
They might
I'm
be in the
sorry.
space right now
I'm
listening
sorry.
to us.
Newsflash, guys. I'm sorry. To all over 1,000 of you watching and listening right now, the future is already been built. It's already here. It will be HBAR, Hedera, Hashgraph. It is the next best thing. It's bigger than blockchain. And I got all these socks and koozies. I'll be running some giveaways, so be on the lookout. Plus, AJ owes me $100 at HBAR because I won betting on Harley. He lost betting on Toki. I love both the guys, but it is what it is. But get ready for those giveaways because I'm going to send, because there's no way I was saying earlier, there's no way I can wear those socks. They're just like not the right material.
We should send Joxy Coxie. She used to be the producer of the Espresso Shot.
Yes.
All her posts are about socks. We should send her a pair of those socks for sure.
Okay.
Like literally every other post of hers is socks.
I still have my unopened socks from Ape Fest in New York City as well. I'll never wear those. Those will be probably ones that I put up on the like when I have like a different set background. I'll put those up there with my ape water. I got a can of ape water from over there as well. Actually, the ape water.
The question is your ape water made with real ape? That's what I'm really curious about.
I'm afraid I've never opened it. I don't know what's in it. I will tell you what. Do you guys remember when Happy Dad, because they make the hard seltzers, they made the Bourdais banana flavored ones? I got to tell you, those things were disgusting.
Well, they're just telling you it's banana flavor. Just because it's yellow doesn't mean that it's necessarily from bananas.
Speaking of,
it may be indirectly, but there may be a filtering process that goes through the ape that gives you the banana.
One thing you got to look out for, and I'm not going to spill the beans on this, but you guys, I would suggest, we talk about, eating the right things, doing, we want to be healthy mentally. We want to be healthy in our bodies, and we want to have healthy portfolios, right? We're going to get back to that because I got to get back to the thing. But if you look up synthetic berry flavors and where they have the potential to come from, you will never in your life eat or drink anything that has a synthetic berry flavor once you find out where this comes from. And I promise you that, because once I found out where it came from in a documentary, that was it. I will only ever.
Is that why the berries taste a little nutty? Is there something?
I would like to remind you that maybe about 80% of these people know how McDonald's chicken nuggets are made. And a lot of them still eat McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I gave a disclaimer in the beginning of the show. If you guys missed it, you're gonna have to go back, as I won't repeat it. But do yourself a favor. Don't do that. Don't do that. Treat yourself.
Well, no, you were just saying there's other healthy alternative things that you could probably have.
Yes,
for your health in the long run. There you go.
Yeah, like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, like let's find out what Amy thinks though.
Oh, I
Amy's
think
got
that's
her
a
hand
great
up.
hand. Great. We got some hands. Amy, what's up, GM fam? How are you?
GM, my question is, can you explain the utility and application of the token within the token ecosystem, including the fee reduction, governance, participation?
Which token though?
Did you get the question?
Yeah. What token are you speaking of though?
What do you say? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. What token you said?
Right.
What token?
The Gotten token.
The Gotten one.
Got him. Oh, the Gotti token.
Is she talking about Gotti?
The Gotti token, yes.
All right. Well, what's your question now then? Please finish your question. Sorry.
I'm asking about the Gotten token. Like, can you explain the utility and application of the Gotten token within the ecosystem? Right?
Well, I'm the founder of Gotti. So what I would suggest, if you get a chance, go to GottiToken.io. Give Gotti a follow here on X. All the information that we have there is posted. We are a token on the Solana blockchain with a total supply of a little over 37,000 tokens.
On the way to being 600 times more than rarer than Bitcoin. So if you think the rarity of Bitcoin is what juices your loins, I don't know why I said that. Sorry. But if
We're
that's,
juicing something over
Sorry
at
for
Gotti.
ruining
if
everyone's day.
We're just
if that's
juicing
what
the
floats
supply.
your boats,
We're down there.
if that's what floats your boat, then I'm sorry. Juices your loins was not the right thing to say there. I know my mom's probably listening, so sorry, Mom. She's the only one I'm going to apologize to there. The rest of you, I'm sorry that you heard it, but
Hey, you know what I found out the other day? I was
That
visiting
made
my
that
sister.
made
And
me.
my sister was like, "Hey, I listen to you all the time." So, shout out to my sister and whatever fake account you're using. I
Can
know
we
you
get some
listen.
other beautiful coin projects up here
That made
so
me
people can
cringe.
get
Hey, we
ask
do have
questions?
speaking of MKid, we actually have Kim with Putin up here. So I'm in a couple.
There you go. We need to get some other people up so they can get some wonderful questions asked about their project.
So I'm in a group chat with Kim with Putin. With shout out to Julie who runs that. So hit us up, Kim. What do you got? I know you got like this is just a funny coin, like transparency. I don't own any of it, but they got funny stuff they're always posting. So let us hear it, Kim. What the fuck do we even call you?
Kim with Putin or Kim Putin's the ticker. That's fine. I just wanted to throw in a different perspective. I agree with everything you guys are saying about Bitcoin and all the great projects with awesome utility. But all I was going to say about that side of it is, if these things become credible, because institutions and governments are buying them, it really does trickle all the way down. The same as if you buy a blue chip share on the stock market. People that legitimizes the stock market, so people will dabble in penny stocks. So of course you don't give it the same gravitas or respect you might give to the big end of town, but it just the normies knowing that Bitcoin is legitimized, it gives them a ticket into everything else all the way down to the bottom, at a different level of respect, a different level of obviously expectation, but it really does legitimize the whole crypto market, which I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on everything and own everything from Bitcoin right down to the most highest risk coin. But obviously you invest accordingly. You want to have the majority of your portfolio in the good end of town, and you have a little bit of speculative end in the other end of town where you're looking for something to really be 1000x, which Bitcoin isn't going to do in a week, but you invest accordingly. And I don't know if you know Alger Boom. He's a guy I respect and has a big following on Twitter. And he's just tweeted in the last day or so. I'd like this is the question, your opinion on this. He says meme coins are utility. When did we stop seeing entertainment as utility? And just like great projects that have like maybe AI or music or gaming, if you have a meme coin that flat out just makes you laugh, that is indeed utility. I'd like your opinion on that. Cheers.
I like that. I necessarily don't disagree with that statement at all. I've never even thought about it that way, but entertainment is utility, and no matter how you source your entertainment or what, what your thing is, that's a really good point, man. If a meme coin just makes you laugh and you just need to laugh or you like to laugh, that's your utility. That makes a lot of sense. I would have never thought about it that way. Interesting. What about the rest of you guys?
Honestly, the way he explained it is like fair point. Like you're like, it kind of got me too. Or it's like, you know what? It is a utility, and it also can be altered into like how it's potentially used, right? Like Matt Rife is pretty big right now. What if he actually did a Rife coin and it somehow gave you merch or tickets or access to a private chat where he tests out jokes on you? Like I think like there's an idea that's literally forming in my head right now that like it can also grow from that.
I mean, but it literally, like, it's limitless, right? Yeah, because not only that, I mean, think about like that's as a user or as a, what do you want to say there? As someone with a platform, right? Being able to use that to churn your ecosystem, that's one thing. Also, just as a normal group, I mean, take for example, like if there were like a motorcycle coin, and it was kind of like just a bunch of dudes got together, and the whole point was to show pictures off of your motorcycle, talk about what modifications you're making. If there's a meetup in your local area, you can do that with like-minded people or whatever. But it's really just what most people use the fucking internet for, is to communicate, right? But you're communicating with like-minded people, and so so at that point you become an investment group, and you never quite know, because we learned this from the NFT bros, and I think the NFT bros did this the best, was learning all about like the trade groups and how you could use your IP within the NFT ecosystem to then turn another business around. And so you got all these people that had, you know, the L hat on your Lazy Lion. Now we're, you know, you've got an investment group, so you're getting into private sales, or, you know, you've got, you know, your picture of this thing has a beer bottle. So now you've gone and you've worked with a distributor, and now you're creating beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people are using.
That's a great
IP.
point, Jay. Remember, I shot you a text that like, yo, I was invited to speak in this. So they're Bit Angels. Like, I invited MKID. MKID came, and like these were Michael Turpin, one of the OGs, like they call him like the godfather of crypto. So they basically started out like this, like a little community formed, right? And then eventually at 30 cents, like they were buying into Bitcoin as a group, right? So it's kind of like playing off what you're saying. They started this group of friends, and now they're Bit Angels. You can actually go and pitch them your ideas, and they'll help with all that stuff. But it was just cool to think of. And then like you saying that, like community can spark something way bigger where it could be life-changing or community-changing in that sense, where, yeah, you get a group of like-minded individuals.
And I will tell you, like, I had seen NFT projects where the art, the project, the team, the devs, that was kind of all dog shit. It was the community that made it what it was and really took it upon themselves. And I think that is absolutely one of the most amazing things of what we have in Web3 is for the ability for you to take your IP and to create something. And you can find those like-minded people, and you can start those business structures or organizations or create a whole new company out of it, whatever you need to do. Absolutely amazing opportunities. I know we got some more hands. Let's go Azumi, Frank, and then we'll swing it on back to Kim with Putin.
Yeah, just to add to what Kim was saying, you know, like every other market, meme coins right now are kind of evolving and are hitting some like a maturity level where if you actually want attention and if you actually want to build a community, you have to give more than number go up. So I have seen a lot of tokens. Kim we put in one of them like included that you have to give more than just like the average community and the Telegram chat, and people are just coming up with videos, they are coming up with games, they are coming up with so many things that add to that meme-verse, so to speak. So just like NFTs, you know, you had Azuki, you have Bored Ape Yacht Club, where if you don't keep innovating and if you don't keep building the brand and making it stronger, you're just gonna die. So while 4 years ago it was just dog shit and memes were just, you know, kind of like betting or gambling, right now it's actually becoming a market force that it's not to be ignored. Right. And yeah, of course, I'm at meme coin. Well, the account I'm in is meme coin, but I'm gonna shield. But you know, you're slowly gonna see founders of meme coins coming to these spaces and chipping in and showing, hey, I know about the market. Maybe I'm not an expert, but we're not just one random guy in a basement trying to sell you vaporware. Like, we know the market, we know what's happening, and we are trying to provide to the space and not just extract.
I freaking love that, man. No, I appreciate that. And thanks for being
I
here.
agree with that 100%. I loved every bit of that.
Heck yeah. I mean, I think that's the whole point. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, right? It's all about the value and what kind of value you can bring or create. And again, even if it is something that just brings joy to somebody and it doesn't quite ROI, but it brings them joy, I think that has an ROI unto itself that might even be better than a financial one at some points, right? Especially, like, you got to know, we all go through ruts. We all went through a bear market, unless you just got through it. And, you know, when the sentiment is bad, sometimes, you know, the mental status gets a little different. That was a big push for us on this show. Just on this show alone was, you know, the whole mental wellness thing throughout the entire bear market, because we got to make sure we check in with each other. I think that's, you know, these are just all the important things that we move on, you know, through this whole ecosystem. So shout out to you guys for being here and saying what you're saying. And
yeah, the 700 people. You got 7 winners today. They're going to have some good mental health with their $100 worth of Gotti.
Absolutely. But then, not only that, remember, because that's $700 we'll give away. Now, again, the ball's in your court, and you got about 7 minutes or so. Also, don't snooze on the rest of the day. We got some other announcements. AJ, I think are you going live at 10:30? All right, so AJ is going to go live at 10:30. I'll make sure we get a something pinned up to the breakfast table. But you're going to want to make sure you go up there right now, or you go to the pin post on the Web3 Breakfast account. It says Monday Markets Live on Web3 Breakfast. If you're trying to win $100 in Gotti, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So check that out, and then we'll pick that shortly here at just for 10:30. B Frank, what you got for a guy?
Man. I was gonna say Kim with Putin. That's got to be the best World War III match. No, Kim with Putin. Man, I just got to say, a person with such a provocative name came up here and just got everybody to agree. It's crazy.
That's crypto, baby. Crypto
So
knows no
Borderless.
bounds.
Crypto is borderless.
It's borderless, man. Crypto doesn't see color.
So
Crypto doesn't see race. Crypto doesn't see.
I mean,
any of
that's
that
got to
shit.
be like the most provocative name I've known yet.
You should go check out their memes.
It's so reasonable.
That's funny. All right, Kim, what you got for us, fam?
You can put your hand down, Kim. You can just talk, my man.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, sorry. I was just going to take it to the 1000th degree. But I could see very, very good meme coins, becoming their own brand. And if you wanted to put it like, something like The Simpsons, it starts off as a 1 minute cartoon in a show and ends up becoming a global, force that sells everything from hats to lunchboxes. So it's when you're in the entertainment round, it really has no bounds. If you tick the right boxes and make people laugh and get a community of people following your account, memes can be as powerful as anything. And just a second tweet by El Jaboom, like he actually said it was a shout out to utility projects and said, don't fade or ignore memes, integrate with them or end up last. What he's saying there is projects that are all utility and nothing else, have an opportunity to brand themselves with meme coins, in a collaboration type way. So both projects will often end up better off, because if you have, one project or a team that really does one thing well, teaming up with the other side of the cryptocurrency realm, then
that's fair.
both
Like if you think
projects can
about
come
like
off better.
skate culture is really good with that, right? Like it's like usually people who consider themselves kind of like degenerate and like against the government, like they just like to go out and shred, right? So, but then they have these real projects that come along that obviously give people platforms, help them get to the Olympics and things like that, where like that's actually a great call. And then go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Dude. I was just about to say, just talking about that kind of entertainment value. I think there's a lot of value that can be put on that. And again, talking about how provocative like King with Putin is, I suppose it's like having, I don't know, Hezbollah with the Taliban. You could actually, in this space, you could make something of that. I mean, I'm speaking with a project at the moment and helping out where I can, and they come up with, do you know the old Chinese proverbs like Confucius say type things? And some of them I've read, and I'm just in hysterics. Things like man that goes to bed with itchy bum wakes up with stinky finger, things like that. Just and you go, there is that entertainment element of it. And on kind of a final note, you just mentioned how many people were in the space. I just want to take my hat off to you guys, because we've been building this Monday space for no longer than 5 or 6 weeks. Both yourself and Jane have done an amazing job. I just want to say you're sitting here giving your time for nothing to educate, help everyone else in this space. And we're sitting here smashing on every Monday between 30 and 70,000 listeners. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of kudos. I don't think it happens very often, but well done for you guys. Absolutely smashing it. And the fact that every single Monday we're getting a bigger range of speakers, more and more people joining, coming back. I'm getting emails from people saying, we love this space on a Monday. We try not to miss it. So I just wanted to say well done to you guys.
Appreciate you, man. That definitely means a lot. And obviously, it all goes both ways, and they are reciprocal. reciprocal. So we appreciate everything you guys have done at the Crypto Mag to really help us get into this position, and even approaching me and asking if it was something I would be interested in doing. And obviously, Mr. Dude and I, we freaking love it, man. We're ready to take things to the next level, not only with the show and all that stuff, but in crypto. I mean, obviously, again, we talk about mass adoption coming, guys. It is coming, and the more people that we can come into the space, and I talked about it at the beginning, we talk about consistency, right? Showing up every day. There's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to start showing up that you haven't seen. And they're going to pretend like they know what they're talking about, and all they want is your money, and that's exit liquidity. So I'm not saying that you got to stick around here at Web3 Breakfast, but find people that have been putting in the time, being consistent, doing the right things, because those are the people you want to follow. And speaking of, I'm super, super blessed to have such a fortunate friend in AJ Writes Crypto. He's here with us. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he recently leveled up his freaking game, and he got the Cyber Beast truck.
Man, it looks so sexy.
So sexy because you're consistent, you show up, you work when other people don't, you do the things, my brother. And I'm so glad you're here just to say what's up, maybe give a quick take on the market, and let everybody know that you got a show coming up right after this, and then we're gonna pick some winners.
Yeah, sweet, dude. Thanks for that introduction, man. I really appreciate you. It is a little strange because I can hear your voice across the hall, but I really do appreciate that intro, man. And yeah, man, the truck's sick. I couldn't be, more grateful for the past couple of years. Jada and I literally were joking around. A little over 6 years ago, she met me working at a juice bar, and I could make a mean smoothie, bro. And I always knew that wasn't like my life. I knew that I spent a lot of my 20s in a transitional phase, and I knew I was gonna find my thing, and I did find my thing, and it just took time. It took really, 4 or 5 years of peripherally and centrally working on myself and working on the goal, learning about crypto. It doesn't happen overnight. It does to some people, but that's the exception, not the rule. I think the rule is, work as hard as you can, focus on what it is you want, and you wake up every day, show up every day. I feel like some people kind of mess up. They kind of they study in binges, they'll be serious for a week and then they'll put it down. I think the magic is in putting your head down for years at a time, hopes up high, head down low. And eventually you'll make some progress. And
but I think a big thing, AJ, is you're pretty public with your backstory and what you went through. And people, if you're interested, you can go through AJ's post and all that. But you're an inspiration for people in terms of what you can do, and that where you are at right now is not where you have to be forever, right? If life sucks or if things are bad for you, you can just try and then just be consistent, and then you can reach different heights, and you can become the next AJ, the next Ban, the next J Chains, right? You can do that. Where you are right now does not have to be where you are for the rest of your life.
I mean, of course, as long as you know that. I think a lot of people are unwilling to admit that they have a problem, or unwilling to admit that they need to work on themselves. I talk to my Telegram group or on YouTube all the time. I tell people you're not going to become a better trader unless you work on yourself. Because trading, what does it require? It requires patience. It requires discipline. It requires mental fortitude, focus for hours at a time. Traders are not normal people mentally. And it takes and that's why I tell people to read a lot, because when you read, you work on all of those things I just listed before. And you really have to kind of rewire your brain and rewire your habits. And I'm a big proponent of becoming a better trader by becoming a better person. And I'm trying my very best to lead by example. So, but man, I really do appreciate you having me on the show.
Always.
Much love to everyone here. Make sure you smash the like in the space, retweet the space, leave a comment down below. I do got to go. I'm 2 minutes late for my show on YouTube. After the space concludes, if you want to come over and hang out, I'd really appreciate it. But the chat started to get a little ravenous over there. I'm gonna have to jump into the show. I appreciate all of you.
No, man, we appreciate you. Yeah, guys, we're gonna pick our winners for the Gotti, and then you guys should just head on over to AJ Writes Crypto. You stream both on X and YouTube, right, or just on YouTube right now for this?
I am dual streaming now.
Okay. All right, so check them out. Check them out either on YouTube or on X. All right, man, I appreciate you. Get out of here. Go do your thing.
Thank you. Much love. Peace.
Peace. All right, let's do this.
All right, Jay, while you load up that while you load up the tweet and the giveaways and whatnot, why don't we, MKid, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Gotti's got going on right now, or maybe a little alpha?
Yeah. No, we're burning away. 37,000, like 900 and some odd tokens left. Available. Total supply 390 tokens available for the world. We are on our way to becoming 600 times more rare than Bitcoin. We are a deflationary cryptocurrency on the Solana blockchain. And every single day we burn tokens. What we give away here, we will match and we burn. So there's $700 worth of Gotti given away today. $700 worth of Gotti will be incinerated. And again, we are a meme token that believes in things a little bit differently. Our shtick, because every meme coin has to have a stick, is rarity and scarcity. Again, we started off with 50,000 tokens. We're now in the 37,000 range. We will be eventually total supply of 35,000 tokens, which is absolutely insane for a meme coin. We're sitting at $213.81, which is insanely low. We started off when we launched April 20th of this year. We started off at $1. We went to $4,100, $207 million market cap. And of course, anything in the meme coin space that goes up that quick, the parabolic rise, people take profits and head for the exit. But we never stop building. We never stop showing up. And that's why we love being part of this Web3 Breakfast Club. And together with this beautiful space of people, again, trying to do things differently in the space by giving away and being generous and not stealing and not cheating and not being lying and deceitful. And it's been fun. It's been a fun journey. And like all these other beautiful people here, guys, you got to show up, you got to work, and you got to keep putting the effort in. And eventually, one day, it pays off. And that's my crypto journey. I've been in crypto since 2011. And there have been high highs and low lows. But do you know something? If you look back at history, it is a beautiful chart, guys. This space is beautiful. We are living in a very unique time in crypto. And I think we are on the precipice of revolution and change like we've never seen. So keep on holding, guys. Don't give up your power. And congratulations to all the beautiful winners that win Gotti today.
Boom. Love that. All right. Let's get on over to the X Picker. Let me share the screen so you guys can see this. We've got our stuff loaded up here. All right. Just make sure I've got the right numbers. The official numbers for today are... So you guys were so darn close to making it 8 winners, but 760 something. So just a little out of reach. All right, so we're giving it away to 7 people, $100 to 7 people. Here we go. I'm gonna wait for the tablets, just so you know. Yes, thank you. Love that noise. I love tablets for some reason. All right, the winners for today's Gotti giveaway are Alice _Art Lover, LKM Land Crypto, 0x Jekyll _ABC, Duke _Fabian, and Queen _King 71. Yowza, that sounds a little strange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, I thought you said we were giving away 7. Oh, we are. Don't you worry about that. Congratulations to our YouTube winners. We got the gold medal going to Mike Vollmer himself. Congratulations to Mike. And the other YouTube winner is going to go to Sonia. Congratulations, Mike and Sonia over on the YouTube world. That's our 7 winners today. You guys each won $100 in Gotti. Congratulations to you. Best of luck to you all tomorrow. We'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern, as we are Monday through Friday over on the Web3 Breakfast channel. I love you guys. Anything else? Anybody got anything to say before we go? Make sure you go check out AJ.
Almost $66,000 Bitcoin, my friend.
Woo! As soon as it retraces, I'm getting in along, because this is the big show, baby. I'm just jaded. I gotta wait for like a real retracement. Anyway, get those longs in. Long your longs, boys. Long your longs. It's time. All right, love you guys. We are out of here. Ciao for now. No show this afternoon. I'm gonna take the rest of the afternoon off, but we'll be back tomorrow morning. Love you guys. End.